Today I spent 100 days in the Ice Age. I've installed 19 mods to make it constantly snow, add a bunch of new animals to the game, and a bunch of structures for me to explore during these 100 days. Oh yeah, I can also freeze to death. And I have hypothermia. This video gets really crazy and took me a really long time to make. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And with that, enjoy the video. Day 1. Okay, so we spawned in this nice campsite with a campfire. But the campfire's not lit, and I knew my main concern on this day was going to be freezing to death. So I immediately went out to get the materials to make a flint and steel. And while making my first crafting table and sticks, I was already freezing to death. I knew that if you go down lower in the earth, it gets warmer, so I tried going into the ravine. And well, that seemed to work because with half a heart, my body temperature started to rise. And now all I wanted was that flint and steel, so I mined up some iron and flint and made the flint and steel. Now that I had a flint and steel, I dug out of the ravine and lit the campfire. Yeah, so I guess campfires are a little bit hot. Anyways, I saw this tower in the distance that I wanted to explore, so I decided to run over. And well, I guess you could say that went pretty well. You know, getting attacked by polar bears, trying to light a fire on snow to warm myself up, and yeah. On day 2, I realized I didn't have any food, so I spent the day exploring and killing every single animal I saw, hoping that it dropped food. And during this time, I needed a way to stay warm, so I decided that it would be a good idea to light the forest on fire. Although the forest fire was keeping me warm, it started to get really big, and I may have made a mistake. On my way out of that forest, I decided that would be a good idea to try to fight a skunk, and it put me on half a heart. So I decided I needed to get back to my camp, but I lost where it was. I could not find the camp, and I died. But luckily, when I looked around for a little bit, I saw a burning tree and knew exactly where my stuff was. So I ran up, grabbed my stuff, and died. I ran up one more time, killed the polar bear and a reindeer, and it dropped venison, which is food. So I killed the rest of the reindeer and ran back to my campsite. On day 3, I realized that my campfire had burnt out, so I went out to collect the materials to make another one and crafted it. At this moment, I remembered that there was lava in the ravine, so I made a bucket, went down in the ravine, and grabbed the lava. Now that I had a portable heating source, I spent the rest of day 3 mining and killing animals to prepare myself for exploration. While I was killing these reindeer, I accidentally right-clicked, and I figured out you can ride the reindeer. This was going to be very useful for exploring. On day 4, I decided I wanted to mine just a little bit more, and I came across a flying horse? I don't think those were around during the Ice Age. Anyways, I tried to kill it, and it won the fight. So, I went back in the ravine, grabbed my stuff, finished up the mining I wanted to do, crafted a full set of iron gear, and started my journey. I spent the rest of the night riding my reindeer, and on the morning of day 5, I found another one of those towers. And I knew I wanted to try to conquer this tower. So I went inside, fought the zombies, and looted the chest. There was some sugarcane, that will be useful for later. I went up to the next level, did the same thing, and then got up to the 3rd level and almost died, so I decided to go back to my camp. So I spent the rest of day 5 running back to camp. On my way back, I killed a mammoth and a goat to see what they dropped, and the goat dropped mutton. Very useful. On day 6, I came across some snakes and decided to kill them. They dropped spotted snake eggs, and so I wanted a snake, so I placed them and they burnt. And then I spent the rest of day 6 doing a little mining. On day 7, I really wanted to find a village or a place to build my house. So I grabbed all my things and left for good. I spent this entire day running, and at the end of the day, I saw these 2 little houses, and I decided to go inside and sleep. On day 8, I decided to go into the house's basement, and holy crap, this basement is massive and has so much loot inside of it. So I just explored this basement and came across this weird guy. Wait, look away for a second. Okay, you can look now. While exploring, I found a lot of enchanted tools, potions, and these weird zombies with armor. I'm not sure what that thing is, but I'm 90% sure it's not from the Ice Age. And while I was exploring, I realized that this basement has a lot of mob spawners, so I kept them just in case I ever wanted to build a mob grinder. After exploring for a while, I came across this weird room with a lot of jukeboxes and music discs. After some more exploring, I fell into this hole and died. I'm pretty sure half my stuff burnt, but I went to bed, and on day 9, I went to go find what was left. Luckily, the house I slept in had some leather gear, tools, and food, so we had some way to survive down there. While we were down there, I found a diamond, a wither skull, and some potions, but sadly, my stuff was nowhere to be seen. So, I decided to leave the basement and get a fresh start on day 10. On day 10, I went and got a little more loot from the basement and went mining. Not the most productive day. On day 11, I forgot to turn on my shaders, and that resulted in me finding this village because I could see farther than I was supposed to. But that was good, because I got a lot of wood from this chest. But other than that, most of day 11 was spent getting crappy loot from chests and trying not to freeze to death. When it started to become nighttime, I remembered that I could make wool armor that would prevent me from freezing to death. All I needed to do was find some sheep, so on the night of day 11, I went out to look for sheep. And of course, using my method of burning down trees to keep myself warm. And as soon as it got dark, I found some sheep, sheared them, and then got blown up by a creeper. Luckily, I wasn't too far away from where I slept last, and I ran back and died again and again. And I died a couple more times, and then finally got my stuff and made the wool armor. On day 12, I decided I wanted to build my house in the village we found on day 11. And on my way back over to the village, I came across this beautiful flat piece of land and decided to build my house here instead. So in the middle of day 12, I started construction on my house. I figured out that I need to be running for my wool armor to prevent hypothermia. So I decided that I would go out and look for some lava. On my hunt for lava, I came across another one of these houses with the scary basements and decided to go in because I had seen lava in one of these basements before. After almost dying a couple of times and searching for a while, I finally found the lava. On day 14, I placed the lava in the middle of my house and continued building. And partway through building, I got attacked by tigers, and holy crap, tigers have a lot of health. Anyways, let's get back to building. After I had a roof and walls, I decided I wanted to make a heating coil which would heat up my whole house so I wouldn't have to use lava and risk burning down my house. So I spent days 16 through 18 mining for diamonds so I could get obsidian to go to the nether because the heating coil requires items from the nether. While I was in a cave, I saw netherrack and quartz and was very confused. So I decided to mine it and I dug into this weird nether room. I fought blazes for a while and then left to continue mining diamonds. I found a small vein of diamonds and then realized that was a nether room. It probably had magma blocks in it, which is exactly what I need for the heating coil. So I went back and sure enough, it had magma blocks, so I wouldn't have to go to the nether at all. I mined some magma blocks and went home to make the coil. When I researched how to make the heating coil, I figured out I needed redstone. So I went back into the mine to get redstone. While I was exploring a cave, I found a weird mob and killed it, and it dropped redstone. That is insane that the one weird mob I find drops redstone. I swear, this is not fake. Anyways, now that I had redstone, I went back to my house and slept next to my nice, warm heating coil. On days 19 through 23, I mined for diamonds. While exploring a cave, I got a nice taste of death from this flying lion. After I had mined 29 diamonds, I decided to strip mine my way back to my house. I dug up into my house and ended the mining trip with a total of 38 diamonds. I made the diamond gear and went to bed. On day 24, I decided I wanted to finish my house, so I replaced my dirt floor with polished diorite, added a few things, so by the end of the day, the inside of my house was complete. I think it looks pretty nice. What do you think? On day 25, I finished my roof and went out to go find animals for my farm because I was running out of food. I went to the forest next to my house and found a cow. I led the cow back to my farm and went back to get another one. Not long after looking, I got my second cow and led it back to the farm and bred the 2 cows. On day 26, I organized my chests and went out to go get some food while I get my cow farm up and running. This one makes me very mad because days 27 through 29 looked like this. My recording software didn't capture the game. And this just happened to be the day that I tried to conquer a battle tower. Well, I guess I'll tell you what happened. I went into the tower. Okay, I'm heading over to the tower. Started fighting the main boss, and he killed me. I wanted to do it without dying. I went back to look for my loot and could find everything except my diamond leggings and boots. I killed the boss after 10 minutes. It's dead! And could not find my leggings and boots. I didn't gain anything. On day 30, I made sure I was recording, and I found an Enderman spawner guarded by an ogre, so I decided to kill the ogre and camp the spawner for a while to get ender pearls for when I wanted to fight the ender dragon. On day 31, I realized that this spawner was right next to a blaze spawner, so I decided to kill some blazes as well. On day 32, I wanted to get my armor back, so I went mining for diamonds and I found 9 diamonds. So I went back home and made the new armor. On day 33, I wanted to get enchantments for my armor, so I went over to the village to trade for the enchants, and when I got there, I realized that the version of Minecraft that I'm playing on has different villager trading, so I would need to use an enchantment table. So I started off day 34 making an enchantment area. I made this ugly thing and started enchanting. After a while, I ran out of books, so I went into one of those scary basements to try to get sugarcane out of one of the chests. On days 35 and 36, I found this area of the basement that had bookshelves, so I got the bookshelves and left. I didn't get any sugarcane though. On day 37, I just did a little enchanting. Now that I could enchant, I was gonna need more levels, so on day 38, I went over to some mob spawners I found a while ago and made this little mob grinder. On day 39, I realized that my armor was getting to low durability, so I spent days 39 through 44 mining for diamonds. While I was mining, I accidentally threw my efficiency 5 diamond pickaxe into lava. I was trying to throw a torch in there so that I could see, but the torch was in my offhand, so it threw my pickaxe. When I got home, I had mined 22 diamonds. I then repaired my armor, made my farm bigger, and bred my cows. On day 45, I started to get annoyed with the snow, so I wanted to build a roof over my land. I built up 4 pillars and made an outline, and throughout days 46 to 51, I filled in the roof. For a while, I used buckets of lava to keep myself warm, but when I got closer to my house, I used netherrack and flint and steel to stay warm. And on day 51, the roof was finished. I then went down to the ground and placed some torches to prevent mobs from spawning. And while I was down there, I found out I was staying warm under the roof. And that was awesome. I didn't have to worry about freezing while I was under the roof. On day 52, I enchanted my chestplate with protection 3 and started building a wall around my land. Besides that, I kind of just ran around and did nothing. I spent days 53 through 55 making my zombie farm better and getting levels. And well, if you ask me, I think it works pretty well. All of day 56 was spent looking for sugarcane to make books so I can enchant my armor. Day 57 was spent at the zombie farm getting levels. On day 58, I went to look for paper for books and bones for bone meal. On day 59, I did a little enchanting and cleared out some snow from underneath the roof. On day 60, I wanted to build an automatic sugarcane farm, so I went down to the nether room to get quartz for observers. While I was down there, I came across this room with 2 chests. I wanted to open the chest, but there were so many zombies and skeletons. So I got into the room and built some walls around the chests. And inside one of the chests was a protection 4 book and a sharpness 4 book. Those would be super useful for later. Then I broke out and somehow got out without dying. And on day 61, I made observers and pistons and started building. I finished the farm on day 62 and watched the sugarcane grow. On day 63, I started getting levels and enchanting my gear. It took a while, but was so worth it, because by the end of day 67, I had full protection and unbreaking diamond armor. On day 68, I wanted to repair my armor, for hopefully the last time, so I went to go mine for diamonds. I found a mine shaft, and in it, I mined 19 diamonds. I spent days 69 and 70 getting XP and repairing my armor. On day 71, I wanted to try to beat another battle tower. So, I enchanted my bow with power 5 and my sword with sharpness 5, and on day 72, I went to the tower. I built up and shot the tower guardian, and he launched off the tower. So, I built over, got the loot from the chest, and I looked down and saw the guardian. So, I shot it from the top of the tower and killed it. Then the tower started making weird noises, so I ran away and the tower exploded. Then I went down and got the loot from the guardian. On day 73, I was feeling lonely, so I went out to find a pet. After looking and not finding anything, I decided to make my way home. When the sun came up on day 74, I saw a snake, so I killed it and it dropped 2 snake eggs. So I went home, built a little glass hut, and placed the eggs. One of the eggs hatched and I got a pet snake. I named it Dot. Very creative. I then waited for the second egg to hatch and I named that snake Ralph. But then Ralph died while I was trying to get him inside. On day 75, I realized that I haven't been to the Nether yet, so I made a portal and went to the Nether. I immediately left. After that, I went and fought another battle tower. It went pretty well. On my way home, I got another snake and named it Ralph number 2. On day 76, I thought it was time to find the end portal, so I made the eyes and went to find the portal. After looking for a while, I found it. I looted a bit of the stronghold, and on day 77, I started making my way home. On my journey home, I killed a lot of animals, and some of them dropped eggs. So, on day 78, I started hatching the eggs. From the eggs we got Billy, and Cobra Man. After I did that, I enchanted my tools. On day 79, I prepared to fight the Ender Dragon. And on day 80, I started making my way to the stronghold. Once I got to the portal, I had to leave, and I accidentally AFK'd until day 90. I went to bed, and on day 91, went into the end. It was time. Time for the biggest battle of the Ice Age. When I got in, I found out a lot of these weird skeletons spawn here. This was gonna be annoying. I started by breaking the crystals one by one. The dragon kept hitting me off the towers, and I only died once. Once I had all of the crystals broken, I started killing the dragon, and these skeletons were starting to get really annoying. Every time the dragon would go down, I would hit it and bow it, and I did this until it eventually died. I did it. I killed the dragon. I grabbed the dragon egg, and on day 92, I started to head home. On my way home, I found a dog and made it my pet. Comment down below what I should name it. On day 93, I made a little thing to display the dragon egg and prepared to find an elytra. And on day 94, I went to the end. I spent days 95 to 98 bridging, and on day 99, this happened. I lost everything. When I woke up on day 100, it had stopped snowing. I survived the Ice Age. Well, kinda survived. I spent the rest of the day looking at the world with no snow. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I spent over 30 hours on this video and would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.